morning, Jobber Nation. Welcome to another episode of the Jobbertears podcast. As always, I'm Janelle from HR here with Sir Wilkins and Mrblacc. And we do have a special guest with us from the Backstage Brawl team.
Yes.
Sir Randy's in the building, representing, once again, Backstage Brawl. So make sure to follow them. Go ahead, plug yourself real quick. You're going to do it in the beginning and the end, but go ahead. Let everyone know about a little bit about you. We'll ask you some questions, get to know you just so that we're all, I know. That's why I gave you my towel from my bag. Good thing I have that in my bag from my row class. You got that. So, Randy, tell us a little bit about the podcast, who's on the squad. Give us a little bit of background story on the Backstage Brawl.
First things first, of course, you guys know Eric. Eric is, we've been doing the Backstage Brawl for going on 8 years now, but we just started a podcast last year during the pandemic. My brother is the editor-in-chief, and he's also he was the, I call him like the Ernie Johnson. He kind of keeps us, all sane while we do the show.
I met your brother, right?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does his brother have a name? Like,
His name is JJ.
Mad Haitian. JJ? JJ said, Pokisa.
His first name's even more Haitian.
Oh.
But yeah.
Jean?
Pretty much.
Jean.
Yeah. And Tyler, who we just love talking wrestling with. I love his insight every time we put him on the show. And I was like, it kind of dawned on me because you always had these conversations about wrestling, and we had a page for a minute. And I was like, yo, Tyler would be dope for just to balance everything that we like to talk about, but give it an alternative and kind of like fantasy book because he kind of engages your mind a little bit. But to kind of take it all the way back, we kind of started 8 years ago.
God damn, that's some time.
Yeah.
And you do like a streaming website, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna get into that in a little bit. But like when we first started, my guy, I call him the Podfather because like he basically kind of made it possible for us to even think about having a page. He ran the Spotlight originally, the Pro Wrestling Spotlight. He ran that with some other guys. Obviously things didn't end well with that, but he put the blueprint in terms of what you guys were doing that you guys came after. And it was like me and my boy from school. He a hood dude, but we showing some love. My boy Deshaun. I was saying something about John Cena one night on Raw, and he put me in a group chat immediately because he's a big wrestling fan too. He thinks Shawn's the GOAT.
Who?
Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, he ain't
lying.
He ain't lying.
I just saw the documentary. He ain't lying. Shawn is the GOAT.
Godfather.
And he just put me in this group chat, and it was me. It was me, my boy Smooth, Eric, Malik, and this dude named Marcus. And just put us in a group chat. I didn't know any of these dudes outside Deshaun from a hole in the wall. But for some apparent reason, me and Eric clicked like that. It was like Magic and Penny, or Shaq and Penny, like easy. Like it was just that kind of instant magic. And we just kind of just built it off each other. So when we did the page, we was getting some traction early on. Certain people kind of rocking with us early. I remember, even Aaron Riff from No DQ gave us some pointers and stuff like that. And even Carl, who used to be part of the Spotlight, gave us some pointers, right? So that kind of just kept us going. And then it kind of had an idea because there was these other third-party sites doing this. So I'm like, fuck it, why can't we could do this too, about like showing old school stuff, right? So I came up with the idea of the Genesis Network, and Marcus, who was dope at like graphic designing in terms of the website, made the aesthetic look like the old symbol from the Sega Genesis and put it like that and put like the art logo right there, and then we just show streaming old stuff. Like he had like archives and like Sunday Night Heat from like 1998 all the way through 2001, and we're just like putting it out. People was like, yo, this is dope, man. We love the network. This and the third, because that's around the time WWE Network came out. And, their slogan was $9.99. Eric's slogan was, we'll give you for free $99 for the low price. So all you gotta do is just click the link and just enjoy. And at that point, it was like, yo, this is great. Until like ROH was doing a live event, and we was live tweeting and live doing the show, this and the third. And we received like a
Ooh, you know when you pop it, you get that cease and desist.
Yeah. So we got that.
You pop it. We got a few. We know a few people that's gotten that before.
We got that, and I'm like, ain't this about a bitch? Because you see other people that doing this and they getting away with it, and we getting some shine now, and we gotta be the one to shut down. We had a web page too that he put up. I was putting out articles every week, while I was at school, and ironically when I was I went to school in the city, so like while I'll be pumping out articles and give it to my boy Marcus, he'll post them, and I'll be sharing them, and he had advertisements that and the third, and then when that happened, we had to shut everything down. And I was like, damn.
Why'd you have to shut it down?
Because for one,
the streaming part I get, but not like
the streaming part was pirated, so obviously we had to kind of shut that down. And kind of like
that part I get, yeah.
And then like the site we had to shut down because like we were also sharing clips of this. We were sharing. It wasn't like we took it literally and put it there to stream it. We just kind of took a link, did that in the third. It was a whole bunch of red tape. So
from ROH?
No, not from ROH, but from like certain lawyers that would like that normally see some like activity online. They would kind of tell you, okay, this and the third, you gotta shut it down. So at the time, we were all broke. I was still going to school, so we couldn't manage the web page itself. So we had to shut that down because no one had any money at the time. And I was in school. So when you Haitian, school is your life. L'école like l'église.
That's it.
That's church, home, and school.
The 3 L's.
The 3 L's.
Yep.
That's the 3 L's, and school was the optimal goal for me at the time. And this was a dope.
What'd you go to school for?
I went to school for originally I was a bio major. I wanted to become a doctor.
Ooh,
sounds about right.
Yeah, pretty much. I ain't going for,
we all failures in my mom's eyes.
Actually, it was my dad, because my mom had a lawyer like future for me, because she's like, I talk a lot of shit. So it's like, okay, this is I could get the gift of gab and do lawyer stuff. I can do that. That's in my head.
Yeah.
But I found more gratification in healthcare, like sports healthcare, especially because I love sports and I love like seeing the like little things that contribute to like how to rehab a player or what's gonna like diagnosis of a player, stuff like that. Like quick short story, when KD tore his Achilles, people was like, nah, it's a calf injury. I'm like, nah, it's pretty much the Achilles if you icing it down. And if he played that night, he might tear that shit.
Jesus Christ.
And what happened? He tore that shit. And I'm like, I told you motherfuckers.
There's actually a dude on YouTube that actually breaks down the injuries, just like how you did that.
Yeah.
He would break it down to the science and explain to us dummies like me.
Because the thing about because I went to school for that for a bit, and and now where it leads me to doing healthcare management, I kind of see how they do the hospital system now, and I'm like, yo,
just trash.
Pretty much.
The American health system is trash, though,
so,
by the way.
Yeah, of course. So I'm like. And then someone at Franklin, who was a black man, kind of looked at me and was like, yo, what do you want to do?
He was Haitian.
Yeah, he was Haitian. Yes.
Franklin.
Shout out to my Zoes. Looked at me and was like, what are you doing? What do you think about doing with your life? I see you working hard, this and the third, busting beds, doing everything you can with the staff. Like, what do you think about doing? And I'm like, I want it all. Like, I want to open up my own hospital someday. Like, that's the goal. Because in all honesty, if you look at the statistics in terms of how many people own hospitals, very rarely some of them are people of color. If you look at all these places, especially New York in general, you're usually owned by more so white people or Jewish people than us or anybody or any other demographic. It's not a black or white thing. It's just more so. It's just the facts in terms of how many people own hospitals.
Yeah, right. It's just stats.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's more like if I do this, I want to change the game through that way.
Okay.
That's how my thinking is.
Okay.
All right.
So basically, what I'm hearing is like you're more of a humanitarian.
In a sense, it's a zone, all of us. But at the same time, you just want to make sure that people get their fair shake, especially in healthcare. When people, especially nowadays, we're living longer because we know more about healthcare. Certain things that we would never been access to for years in past, now it's beneficial for us. Like even now, people was like, well, marijuana's bad. But look at the benefits it can make for someone who has MS. Or going through Alzheimer's, or having
going through treatments and stuff like that.
Exactly, or someone going through cancer, like that. All that chemo not gonna help you if you have a little, like if you take cannabis oil and stuff like that. That will help alleviate some of the situations you have. Or holistic medication, like a lot of Dr. Sebai route, which people, have gone through and have come out the other side better for it.
I definitely agree with that. Yeah.
So it's like you have to look at certain things, differently with an alternative view. Because if you look at it, and it's like wrestling. If you look at everything as a from a WWE standpoint, you're never going to get the best out of what you love.
Well, that's just most people in wrestling.
Let me ask you a question, dogs.
Yes, sir.
Since Nets is in the wrestling podcast, if Nets, the biggest, Vince came up to you, he wants to say, yo, dog. He said, yo, Randy, you know how you doing? What things that you think I should do to improve the health of my wrestlers? What will you do?
Health insurance.
But Randy,
Top
it's
of
too
the
much money.
Oh, no. Vince is a Virgo like me. We're going to fight him.
You are too.
See, Vince
Makes so much more sense now.
So he's going to listen because of the fact that we're detailed people. We're
absolutely. Let him know.
We're detailed people. So if I give you a list in terms of how to help your wrestlers prolong their lives, he'll listen to me. Like when you and Wilkins are going back and forth about, you know, the SAG situation. Should wrestlers get
unionized?
Unionized.
Yeah.
And you guys had that discussion. Wilkins started a conversation that hasn't been talked about a lot.
Yeah.
So it's like if you're able to manipulate that loophole, because I guarantee when Hogan was in WCW, he was definitely in SAG in Suburban Command or whatever movie he did, you know, No Holds Barred.
Right.
He definitely has that.
That's how Jesse got it.
Yeah.
And Rock specifically, since Rock did his first, it wasn't for his first movie. When Rock was casted first for Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Oh, shoot. When he rock bottom her?
When he rock bottom 7 of 9, he was getting SAG. He was getting unionized. He was part of that union. Because you knew once you cross over with that and that crossover appeal, they're not going to let you go. This is where he is now. That's why he was able to move so freely. And that's another reason why I feel like that freedom that The Rock had in some ways that outgrew the company. That's why Lauren Ives didn't send out that fax to re-sign with the company, even on the Legends deal. That's why I felt that bad blood, that 7 years, happened because of that. Vince is a petty motherfucker. He'll find ways to get to you.
If you want to get into it, that's the reason why WWE is the way that it is.
Yeah.
And I always talk about it. It follows the NFL model.
Oh yeah.
Yes. The shield before the players.
Yeah, the shield before the players,
Definitely.
the E before the wrestlers. Because once you get big, it's like, damn.
But the thing about it, you know, Brad Shepard keep on saying that there's no big stars, blah, blah, blah. But the one thing I know is that he never said, but he never pointed out how the company only let but so much people become the top stars.
So,
example, CM Punk talks about this. And when the whole Colt Cabana, he said, yo, I was supposed to be the next Slim Jim guy, but they didn't want me because I'm CM Punk. And then they put other people in that position. It was a tattoo expo where, come on, we all know CM Punk, the tattoo guy. Randy just got his tattoos. They put him in that position.
So I'm going to push back on that.
Okay.
Because you don't even know how I feel about CM Punk. Great mic skills. I'm going to put it out there.
But
whatever.
CM Punk was just the example.
No. I'm gonna because because the thing about it, CM Punk acts like he was treated like shit when he was there.
In retrospect, he wasn't.
He wasn't.
Because his rider on his contract, a rider is the perks that you get on your contract, right? I know exactly what his rider was. Private jets, private cars, picked up all the time, anything that he wants, food, catering, separate locker room.
Okay.
That motherfucker was treated like a star. I don't want to hear anything CM Punk has to say. Because at the end of the day, you were treated like a mega superstar. The only thing he has is that he didn't have that many main events.
I understand that, but CM Punk was just an example.
No,
he just was going based off of your example.
Yeah,
That's
based off the
it wasn't
example.
like
based off
that
the
was the
example.
end all or be all.
And that's what I'm saying is that he's a hoe. Point blank. But the thing is, to go off of that, a lot of times they low-key made him a superstar because they actually pushed him in the forefront. Because this was post when CM Punk became CM Punk.
It was post steroids.
It was post steroids.
Post what's that dude's name? Chris Benoit.
Yes. So they pushed him to the forefront because he was a straight edge. So they
and they
pushed
was trying
him
to save face.
They were trying to save face up, and then they made him. He low-key was a mega superstar. Granted, he didn't cross over, and there were things that they pulled back from him because they didn't have faith in him.
Yeah.
I think it was more about faith, and also CM Punk is not a political dude.
Yeah.
He's not a backstage politics guy.
Yeah.
So that thing that also hurt him too.
So let me ask you a question. Let me bring this question to the table, right? Take away the personal biases. Take away FCM Punk. Let's have a real adult conversation about this. What could I CM Punk did in that situation when he was in WWE?
Take his ego out of it.
Okay.
That's exactly.
But that's just that's just the business itself. Like egos, believe it or not, I feel like is what's detrimental at times from you getting to that next level.
Because his thing was that, and he had good points. The one thing I don't want to take away from him, he knows his value.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
And I can't get mad of a man knowing their value.
Shout out to Taz.
Yeah, but at the same time, it was like, bruh, work a little bit better. Him and The Rock had issues.
And that was clear.
The Rock
But that was clear.
With The Rock.
That don't mean nothing.
No, I'm just talking about you don't ever hear stories about The Rock.
You don't.
In the industry. And the thing about it, you hear people shitting on The Rock. So that's what I'm saying is that was his issue. Is that that will always be my issue is that this business did so much for you. And I will always say this, Vince McMahon apologized to you. Nobody wants to bring that up.
That is true.
But no one likes bringing up, positive things or good things Vince has done to people that's done him wrong.
No, grant that. I definitely agree with that. But what I'm learning as getting older, I realize that whatever childhood issues you have, it's up to you as an adult to fix them. And he had a real messed up childhood. His brother stealing the money from the wrestling company, him not having the greatest upbringing. But bro, you was 30-something and you still didn't know how to handle yourself in WWE. Grant that.
Who? CM Punk?
Yes, grant that. You did not main event certain things. Cool, it happens. But the one person I always give that man respect, and low key, he's the most valuable person in the company, is The Miz. The Miz, he's awesome. Yeah, WWE is cool, whatever. This is my job. But
he knows his role.
Right. This man has numerous shows. This man could literally cross over in Hollywood, and after he making so much money because he knows his value, but he also understands that I still have a job. The one thing I realized that wrestlers and fans fail to realize is this: two things: know your value, and wrestling is still a job. It's just a high-profile job. So when you treat it like a job and say, yo, this is a job, and when I go home, I separate it, you are more clear.
You're 100% right, and that was always my thing. The only thing I would only agree with him was his health. His health issues.
Yes.
Yeah, that staph thing.
That staph infection was crazy. But I will always say it like, wrestling gave you a whole lot of shit. The reason why I don't shit on Moxley like that, because when he got on the podcast, with Jericho's podcast, because what every WWE wrestler does,
he thanked WWE.
Yes, he was like, yo, I have a house.
He went and met his wife.
I met my wife there.
Yeah.
I have a house that's paid off. I have a beautiful truck. I have money saved up. I'm great.
But he's just talking about what Mox. You're right, because Mox only talking about how certain stuff went bad.
Yeah, he said
it's the micromanagement.
It's the micromanagement that he's talking because also, and I always say Moxley's an artist. Moxley's a free spirit.
So when you have someone that creative and someone going against someone that micromanages or that's always like on top of details, you can't. Debatable, but you can't be as creative at times, and that's why once again, certain companies are better for others than WWE, than AEW, than ROH, then like you have to find you have to find not only your niche, but you have to find your place. Like, but you have to have that idea of what you want to. Like, you can't go into it and then being confused and then not be prepared. So like, for instance, what's the girl, Peyton Royce, she recently just said on somebody podcast
I just read it.
That she had a meeting with Vince.
I just read that.
And they were spit talking ideas and stuff. And he was like, she gave one idea. He was just like, well, what else do you have? Or what do you like to do? Like, he's trying to pull creative things out of her. She didn't have anything. She wasn't prepared.
That's her fault.
Correct.
Exactly.
And that's what she was saying.
That's a you problem.
And but I say that. But I say that in saying that everybody for the most part, when people get released, when people don't have a storyline, when people aren't used a particular way, they always look, first thing is they always look at Vince as like he's the bad guy. When you gotta see both sides of the fence, and you gotta see, if you don't come to the table prepared, if you don't come to the table with ideas, then how are they supposed to use you?
So that goes back to our episode 2 weeks ago. Shout out to us in the past. When my brother, everybody got on my brother, talk about the NXT call-ups, how that a lot of them do not evolve themselves. So I was looking at this cup just now, right? Yeah. I noticed 2 NXTs, call-ups, Bayley and Sasha Banks. You look at this, this Charlotte. Is clearly, and Charlotte.
And Braun.
Big E.
No. Focus. I
am.
Focus.
Big
Come
E as
on.
well.
I'm driving the Tesla right now, all right?
Tesla's
Boom.
It's a great
Becky,
car, though.
It's a great car.
Charlotte, look at the 4 horsewomen, right? If you look at them, you notice that this cup is automatically outdated for the simple other reason, but yet the gimmick's outdated. They evolve their gimmick over time. And that's the one thing that nobody want to put on
What year is that from?
This is when Ronda,
2 years ago. It's in New York.
Yeah.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
Bayley's character was still that.
Yeah.
Can I get to my point?
Sure.
Hey,
I'm just trying to figure out.
This is my Tesla. I'm driving my Tesla. Thank you, Randy, and my brother for like listening. So right now I'm on the road right now. So understand, you notice that they evolved. You notice that even Bobby Lashley evolved. The Miz, don't wear headbands no more, evolved. Asuka evolved. Seth evolved. Roman evolved. Batista evolved.
Tribal Chief.
Sorry, Tribal Chief. Sorry, my bad. Kofi, the New Day evolved.
Roman was his
before Braun left, evolved. Shane evolved. The one thing that I noticed, even Finn Balor evolved. One thing that is a constant example, Undertaker, the best of the best, they forever evolving the character. Everybody's so quick to always put it on their employer. How many times all of us work a regular job? How many times that you heard ex-employees say that, oh, F this job, I want to be supervised, but then when you realize they was always late, always talking back, and the worst to be around. I get it. At some point, it is the system. But if you are in the system and you refuse to evolve within the system will leave you behind.
But you know what's funny?
That's a good way.
I want to laugh. Go ahead.
That's a great look.
Mojo Riley and Zack Ryder.
Yo, Mojo kept on trying.
Zack
Ryder kept on trying.
How long were they in WWE for?
Zack Ryder. Let's say Zack Ryder.
Zack got the rug pulled up from under him.
Yes.
I ain't gonna front.
Yes.
Yes.
Zack,
he's the reason why WWE came into the social media age.
But Zack,
Without
I think
they don't get this.
Zack was, and this is something that some people won't agree with me on. Zack was way too ahead of his time.
Yeah. He was.
Yeah.
Super.
So it didn't resonate.
But now he's doing
on
death matches.
TV. Because him doing his social media, YouTube stuff, right? Mm-hmm. There's a super niche crowd at the time. Mm-hmm. Super niche.
Yeah, it was.
So it doesn't translate to arenas. Mm-hmm. It doesn't translate to on TV type of things because it's a super niche crowd and it's only working in New York. Mm-hmm. It's not working in West Bubblefuck, Nebraska because you only have that niche crowd. Yes, you got over. You had the internet title. You had the toys, which later helped them out because they ended up hosting toy shows for WWE and doing stuff. And I think WWE did appreciate because they kept them on the roster for 10 years. 10 years. 10 years. 10 years at a job. You got to wrestle.
Even though the WrestleMania, you had a WrestleMania moment.
Yeah, you had.
Regardless of what happened the next night.
But it's you had that. You had that, and I think that was the issue with Zack Ryder. People say the rug was pulled up from under him, and you are right. It does feel that way. But if you look at the grander scheme of things, you're talking about mid 2000s, early 2000s. Was it 010?
Yeah.
2012, 2013.
The internet was an internet.
Well, it wasn't. YouTube wasn't what YouTube is today.
Yeah.
So they kind of helped them get ahead of the curve.
But also, the one thing that Zack Ryder also said, and I said this way before he got released. One thing I noticed that Vince respects is somebody who stands up for themselves. Yeah. And Zack said, not one time I went up to Vince and asked him what's going on. Because Kofi, you know why Kofi always had that respect by Vince? Because he wrestled Vince, and Jericho told him to do that. Why do you think that Mark Henry got the respect from Vince? Because Mark Henry looked at him, he said, yo, I'm going to be the strongest man competition. He said, yo, real talk, my nigga. Oh, he didn't say that. Real talk, big guy, big fella. If you don't become the world's strongest man, I can't have you. What did Mark Henry did? Went out there, bust his chops. What happened years later? He became
with the pink suit
from 2006 on. Mark Henry became the Mark Henry everybody
exactly
knows.
Because Vince and everybody, every man in here would say this.
Because Virgos are toxic. They're like static too much.
Right. Every man
Wow.
like every man who is a man, don't have to tell him something, man, likes when another man tell him that I'm going to do this and I'm going to accomplish it. And you as a woman likes when a man is about his word, correct? When a man challenges like, yo, you wronged, you be like, ooh, I like that. You feel me?
Oh, my nigga tells me no all the time.
Exactly. Because Zack Ryder did not stand up for himself because Zack Ryder would say that to him. This is why also his push was because you got to speak up. You got to speak up.
Yo, why does Kiki always have to bring up AEW, son?
What about AEW?
That comes with the business. When AEW, shut up, Kiki.
Wait, well, when AEW does what?
No,
AEW.
She's right. Though when AEW,
no, but I want to hear the whole statement.
She goes, that comes with the business. When AEW does something unfamiliar, Tony name gets brought up. That's just how it is.
Correct. You go to the person that is at the top of the food chain. That like when something goes wrong with the country, who the fuck are we looking at?
Heavy is
the president of the United States.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
That's just what it is.
I agree with you.
That's just like if something go wrong with any one of us, who they gonna be going to? This one.
They go to you.
No, they don't.
Janelle.
No.
But at the end of the day,
hold on. This is what happens. This is what happens. I get the hate. She gets the love. That's what happens.
That's not.
It's
Yo,
like I get raided with, I fucking hate the guy.
I don't know why.
Is that what happened during the Bow Wow situation?
Yeah.
He got mad hate.
Yeah.
And he got all the love.
I didn't get it. I mean,
mind you, I'm just a guy behind. He's like, y'all niggas go too hard
Yo,
with this.
I woke up and the first thing I saw was Bow Wow's comment, and then my phone was blowing up. Me and the boys in the group chat was like, "What's going on?"
but that's always him because he's the controversial one. So is anybody that's gonna pop? Is it gonna be this one?
And then my boy Vlad Cope's like, "Yo, Randy, did you see Soulja Boy?" I was like, "Yo, man, like, you see Bow Wow?" I was like, "Listen, I don't know nothing, man.
Exactly.
I stay out of drama." When I saw the comment, I'm like, "Man."
But the thing is, it's he still ain't start wrestling.
Right.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
It was all that bark. All that bark for what?
I'm waiting for another year.
I'm
waiting for another year.
Talking about I'm gonna go train at Rikishi school.
But again, this goes back to what I said.
They gotta have the verses in the ring.
Yo, understand? You still gotta give people chances.
I said I give him
it's not
another
a
year.
bad.
He got one more year.
It's not about not giving chances, but like how I've always said about when AEW sat there in the beginning was like diversity. We're gonna do stuff like that, but it's just the same.
Kiki's right.
It's the same thing.
Get on WWE first. Get on WWE.
But it's the same thing though.
So can we start?
It goes. It's paramount.
It's
all
everywhere.
around.
It really
Shout
is.
out to Impact. Shout out to Impact for being different, but none of y'all niggas watch it.
That's
Shout
not
out for
true.
being
I watch
Impact for
Impact.
taking the ass
I have
by AEW.
access.
Huh?
That's what I'm saying. They are getting.
Listen.
And Don Callis is working for AEW now?
Yo, who said that to us?
He's a double agent.
Brad Shepard.
Okay, so that's what fucked me up because when Brad said it on the episode last week, and we were both like, "What?" And then when I fucking watched the show, and it was like they fired him, I was just like,
"Yeah, it's a storyline.
Oh, it's a work.
No,
you guys is out here
it's a storyline because
it up.
Impact immaturely took him off the website before the storyline happened. So he isn't nothing groundbreaking. Literally, shout out to World Culture and them. They be telling you what's gonna happen in wrestling, low key. But
then low key, do you really want that though all the time?
But no, I'm saying that
you kind of want the surprise, sometimes.
Right? But certain stuff, don't be surprised. Like Eva Marie, they told you Eva Marie will not be used as a wrestler. They told y'all niggas this.
To be honest, it might sound controversial.
But then she got in the ring.
Like what they're doing with Eva Marie is exactly what they're gonna be doing, which they should be doing exactly that with her because it fits who she is in a sense.
And it makes sense.
It makes sense.
And this is why I say that she's the best woman here right now in WWE.
Everybody knows that.
But
there's no argument about it.
But no, there's people that
if we're
upset
gonna
at
go
her.
best heel right now, if we're gonna go best heel, it unfortunately would be Bayley.
Unfortunately,
you know I don't really
people like her.
Bayley
Bayley,
people cheer for her.
No, Bayley is the best heel. Like wrestler heel.
Yeah,
wrestler heel manager. Eva Marie.
Yeah, because she got legit hate. Like people hate her.
But Bayley's like literally the best four horsewoman.
Yes, but my thing is this: people literally
who's better than her? Overall, who's better than her?
Overall,
Nobody's better than her. Nobody has better mic skills than her out of all 4.
she had a girl on that one though.
But as of right now, nobody has better mic
In the
skills than her.
beginning, that was
she's
that was
growing into it.
cringeworthy as fuck.
She's really she's growing
Nobody
into it.
has
Actually,
better.
all of them. Like I look back, all of them bitches was a little cringeworthy. Kind of think about it.
Sasha's the worst one on the mic.
Wow. I have a question.
I don't agree with that.
What?
Before Nia punched Becky Lynch in her fucking face.
But you're talking about
Becky
I'm talking
Lynch was
about,
trash on
I'm
the
talking
mic.
about right now.
Trash.
Right now, the worst one out of all 4.
Oh, you see, like if we're talking about like right now, like currently,
That's
like,
what you said.
this past SmackDown episode,
No.
or
Not
the last
SmackDown.
60 days, or
No.
Overall, up to today,
Sasha has the worst mic skills.
Sasha has the worst of the worst mic skills.
I am women's champion, and I work hard. Come on, B. I ain't feeling that in my chest.
Trash.
Damn.
Trash.
But what?
Garbage.
When
Trash.
Becky talk, I feel it. When Charlotte talk, I feel it. When Bayley talk, I feel it. Sasha, I'm going to the bathroom.
Yes, but when her match comes on, we're
Woo!
gonna watch.
Woo!
She is the best match in-ring abilities. Out of all 4, best in the in-ring.
okay,
Hit maker.
that I will agree with you.
Sasha's hit
That
maker in
I
the
will
ring.
agree with you.
Sasha's a hit maker.
She
in the ring.
is 5-star.
In ring,
In-ring
Absolutely.
storytelling, moveset, all of that. All
Absolutely.
of that.
I feel no. I feel no. Wait. I feel one person out of 4 of them who dumbed herself down was Becky in the ring. Because before she came to man, Becky was putting on
Becky was
matches.
But the thing about it, the reason why she did that is because she's a superstar. And the reason why she did that.
My share, turn that.
No. I will tell you why.
I understand
Because
why. I understand.
she
it
is-
reserves your body.
Exactly.
I understand.
Exactly. Because she knew, as you're being that high up on the card,
you're gonna be placed in so many,
you're gonna
multiple
you're
times,
doing multiple interviews. You're all over the world,
God
bro.
deserve your body.
You know what? I'm doing this arm
gotta
bar,
take it
and
down
I'm
a
gonna put it down
notch.
right here. Hold this. Oh,
Cause yeah, that first time Charlotte had took off that period of time. I mean, of course, to get her blue job done again and whatever. But that was the first time she ever took off time.
Yeah.
In years.
So I think that, like, as of right, I think personally, child, like they should swipe people in and out. Because at this point,
There's
I
nothing
mean-
for Charlotte to do. She's done it all.
yes, I think that
she's done it all.
no.
wait, has she
not
won
a
Money in the
faction
Bank?
yet.
Oh, except for Money in the
Has
Bank.
she won
Oh
Money in
no,
the Bank?
she had a faction. It was the Submission Society. Come to find out the porn website. Dang. So
Okay.
dang.
but
So
but the thing is,
last long.
when you look at the 4 horsewomen, when you look at them as a collective, and you rate them, Sasha's at the bottom when it comes to mic skills.
she ain't believable.
She can't talk on the mic, bro. She can't talk on the mic.
She doesn't like. It's okay. You know what
Hold
it is?
on.
I have to go back and think about that.
You know what it is?
Think
you know
about
what it is?
it.
You know what it is? It's not the fact that she can't like. I just feel
I'm
like
not 100% on
she
that.
don't own the crowd. You understand? Her mannerism is so generic. Like, yes, you may not be the best, but at least make the crowd get into it.
Up until last year during the pandemic when she came back with her, she started to find herself.
But bro, it sound mad generic.
So
dogs.
this is what it is.
I do believe she's starting to find herself more. In the
I
mic,
agree with
though.
you. I agree with you.
No, and you raised a good point. So so we can move. I know you have to. You have what's on the docket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Keith Lee trademark. Yeah.
So
I don't know what that's about. You got to talk about that.
Okay.
because somebody said something in the promo. Sasha's promo is trash, but she's good as hell on the Mandalorian, which I don't understand.
It's
So
simple.
No,
two
How
different
many
things.
takes can you get on the
Sometimes
No,
you
it's
gotta
two
find
different-
yourself.
It's so
two different
This is
things.
what it is. You're pretending to be something else. When it comes to wrestling,
It's
You're-
your
you're
personality.
more of
it's
a
your
yourself.
person. It's yourself times 100. And then Randy just mentioned something. She's still trying to find
She's
herself.
still trying to find herself.
Because remember,
She was playing a character.
She almost got fired
Yeah.
because she couldn't find a character when she was in NXT.
Yeah, that's how the boss came about.
So
Cause she's a natural anime head. That's her personality. She's like
then use that.
yeah. But how?
But does
then
that?
use
But
that.
but is that going to translate well on TV?
Yes.
The thing about it,
To you,
But at this point, it's kinda- I wouldn't
to
say
you,
wait
it
for
may.
No, because he's right. Look at New Day.
Exactly.
Anime, Power Rangers, video games.
Exactly.
Because at the thinking about it, so I was talking to my boy Dougie Fresh.
Yeah.
He did.
Please. Side note, please check out Show Up Season. Now available on streaming platforms. Please support. We support each other.
He said that when it comes to improv, because he did an improv boot camp class.
Yeah.
And a lot of things in wrestling is improv.
Exactly. Exactly.
When you improv, it's a piece of yourself. You have to use what you know, what is part of you to help you get over. So maybe somebody might not understand the anime stuff, but the way is because it's part of you, they will feel it. And that's the problem with Charlotte a lot when she cuts a promo. Yeah, you're playing this boss character, but you're not really that. You're something like that.
Yeah.
Actually, I think she's the complete opposite.
Exactly.
Because when you're talking about Charlotte, right?
I'm talking about Sasha.
Oh, because you said Charlotte, but I was just
sorry,
like,
my bad. When
but actually, I feel like Charlotte is in that same like borderline when it comes to that because her character on screen is not her off
But
screen.
the thing about
it
is that goes back to keeping kayfabe alive because she is the offspring of Ric Flair, the guy who kept kayfabe alive so long that it ruins his marriage, made him go bankrupt. So she gotta play that role.
Rick lived that life.
Right. And that's to me, that's why
he lived that shit.
That's why honestly I respect wrestlers today because they see this as a job. They leave it at WWE. They don't take it home with them.
But
no, but let me finish.
Some don't.
Right. Rick, like, so, like, she actually kind of have to live up to, like, this Ric Flair daughter. She got to be all of this. She got to be the princess, blah, 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 blah. So, I believe that she needs to evolve from that character to really cement herself as her own. Because, yes, we all know she's Charlotte Flair. But then, how many times that they're going to use that joke, like, you got here because of your last name?
But they do the same thing with Randall.
They do it with
Randall, because he's way different from his dad.
They do. But it doesn't take away from the fact that that's what when they look at him, they see Bob Orton.
But which one hits harder?
And when they saw Bob, they saw the grandfather.
They saw the grandfather.
Let me ask you a question. Which one hits harder? If you say Randy, you're the guy who cuts your last name. Randy, it cut an L prom way different from his dad. Charlotte, she go laugh like, ha, 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 ha. That's all she does.
But then Charlotte's just coming to herself because I think
she's another one.
The hate is finally is elevating her instead of bringing her down.
Like
that's why she has to. She has to she has to find her own version of the Flair.
I think she's doing that now.
She's doing it
now.
Exactly.
Because you see her, because she
normal style.
because like her hair's not as puffy. She has
super straight.
Yeah, it's straight. She's wearing shorter dresses.
That's because Andrade is like
thrashing.
Oh no.
Pumping, pump it up.
Thrashing.
Yep.
He hitting that Toto Fuego, so he hitting that.
I'm gonna use that.
So
Toto Fuego.
so he hitting that.
Nigga.
So. And wearing shorter dresses. So I think some of her personality is starting to grow. Like, you have to give these people, like, for Roman's situation as well. It goes with Roman as well. It took Roman leaving, going home during the middle of the pandemic. And I got to shout out Gene, who runs the Backstage Brawl page, because he gave Roman a crazy promo when he left. And, like, mad people on Facebook wanted our admin gone because he said some flagrant shit.
Like what?
Nah, it's like, yo, you taking your ball and going home in the middle of a pandemic. You're this, you're that. Like,
that was necessary.
I mean, that's his opinion, though.
It's his opinion. But
he had cancer before, and like, he's thinking about his family. So
I know
that's
that.
Selfish.
I know that, and like, and during that time, we were going back. Even in the group chat, we were going back and forth with him about like, yo, Roman is going back because he's legit in remission. He's not trying to catch nothing. Even if he is cancer-free.
He just had twins, right?
He just had second set of twins.
Yeah, second set of twins. Yeah. Like that.
Back to back.
That family is like, woo. Like, Naomi better watch out because twins run hard.
Some ones be fucking. That's all I got to say. Yeah. all them be fucking. But it took Roman that time. When he came back as a tribal chief, now you start to see him, like, grow. And that pinnacle that, for me, was in the Hell in a Cell when Jimmy came in and brought it out of him. He's like, what are you doing, Oos? He's like, I don't even know who I am anymore. And you're thinking like, yo, he about to go back and just be the big dog again. And they just put him in a guillotine and just end the match in the most Shakespearean of ways. I thought he watched Power during the time when he left, coming back like Ghost and taking people out.
You said something. He went home, and he basically went home and took care of his family.
Yeah.
He took that character and says,
head of the table.
I became a man because that's what men do. They sacrifice for their family. let me evolve this character. So this goes back to what we all been saying. Take a piece of yourself and you amp it up 10 folks.
And like I said,
I've been on it today, B.
So
Bailey's number one.
So
Back
to
to what you're saying.
that,
Yes.
you mentioning Hell in a Cell, real quick, let's talk about the pay-per-view last weekend. So once again, shout out to everyone that did come out to Legends for Hell in a Cell. It was very black magic. I was very surprised. I don't know. I mean, when they always give the whole ultimatum thing, like if you don't win, you don't get the next title shot. And it was just like, so I knew Bobby was gonna win, but just the fashion that it happened in, it was just phenomenal.
I ain't gonna lie, I was actually nervous that Bobby might lose that night. I was like,
which actually, you know what?
I was nervous.
No,
I was nervous.
No. But there were certain parts of it that got you like, oh shit, could this really happen?
No,
which
no,
would
he's
mean,
almighty one.
which to me that speaks on
almighty chief.
the actual match itself and the psychology that came out of the match. Because I think at times that's what's missing in wrestling is that everyone is a booker, everyone already knows the end. And at times, but that takes away from that magic. That magic that we've all experienced from the different eras of wrestling.
Okay.
Now we're in that social media era where that essence of like the unknown is completely gone.
But then again, though, we're older now. I know Goku's gonna come back and save the world. I know Vegeta's gonna get a power up and get defeated by the bad guy. I know this. But my thing is this: how you gonna get from point A to point B? Wrestling fans do not have the same grace that they have for everything else. When I watch The Flash, I know The Flash at the end is going to win. I know this. I know this at the end when
Depending on the arc.
Right,
Depending on the arc.
But definitely, most likely he'll come back and win. When I watch Endgames, I know, even before I saw it, I know Thanos was going to lose. I was like, how do we get to the point A to point B? We, as wrestling fans, we have no patience. Like, other day, I forgot this girl's name, right? She said this, oh, Eva Marie, blah, blah, blah. And I said what I said about Eva Marie. And then she said, but yeah, I'm usually patient, but I don't see the end game. I said,
don't.
There you go. That's the problem. Triple H says this. He played everyone. He says, stop being bookers. Just enjoy it.
Yo, it's funny because
come on, Randy.
That's been WWE's bread and butter for years, and the fact that they went away from it is what is getting the most criticism.
What do you mean by their bread and butter? Elaborate on that.
Like, we've all watched WWE from different eras and different spectrums.
Of course.
Most of you guys are older than me. So
How
for
old
me,
are you?
I'm 28.
Oh, you're not that much.
We're the same
younger.
era, yeah.
So it's like
If you would have said like 24, I'd be like, you're not young.
from the new generation era on, like from the earliest part of watching and even watching back in retrospect, it was always leading up to something bigger. WWE always saw the long game. Now it's a short game, and we talk about it. Like me and Tyler especially talked about it during the our recent episode because we did a bell to bell show talking about pay-per-views. Is too many pay-per-views exhausting storylines? Because remember, before we had all these pay-per-views every month, Vince usually had like certain pay-per-views in the middle and then the big four.
Yes.
Including the Golden Era. That's what AEW is doing now. They don't do pay-per-views every month. You see their stories develop more so on TV, and even if it doesn't work the first week, you can scrap it and then find something that can
Shout out to Dark Order.
And latch on. WWE's forgotten how to do that because they're overproducing. Everything is being overdone because of the fact that, yeah, you're at the highest of the mountain. You have to keep replicating it like a factory rather than organically allowing things to happen and manifest because you're constantly seeking that next fix. Like, I'm going to ask you guys a question.
Okay.
When was the last time you saw every storyline properly produced going into WrestleMania?
Last year, pandemic.
I would say,
Yes. That's when all the storyline really progressed. Like that's when The Fiend, that's when
Roman.
I would say
last year, all of those feuds.
Roman, Daniel, and Edge. They all came together.
Outside. Okay, then.
No, not the. I would say.
I'll say last year.
Last
year.
New York.
When?
Kofi Kingston?
Yeah. No, I would even. I would.
And I would go New York, and if I didn't go New York, I would definitely go New Orleans because everything built up to that shit.
Thank you.
But then I would even say.
I would say 30 was.
But the thing about it.
No. I would no.
What's
that? 30.
I would say that.
I would use
34?
a particular match because a lot of times.
34.
A lot of times, not all the storylines go into WrestleMania.
True.
But the main event usually does, and the best one that I saw personally was the main event at WrestleMania with New York, and that was
on both ends.
Ronda, Becky,
Oh yeah.
But
and
no,
Charlotte.
but Kofi and Daniel Bryan.
No,
that
but
one.
I
got one.
can attest to
But
that.
I'm talking about the actual, whatever. You can argue.
The last match of the night.
Yeah.
I
With
can attest
that
to
one,
that.
that
Okay.
one was the buildup. The problem is that
The structure is fractured.
the structure is fractured, but also people get tired very easily unless the people are hitting it out the park.
But
Yeah, but don't you feel that having too many pay-per-views exhausts that as well?
No.
Because obviously we're getting too many because like I feel like we're getting too many pay-per-views, especially from WWE standpoint. I do think you need to let certain stories breathe. And if you guys are doing the brand split like you're supposed to, like do it how you did in Ruthless Aggression. Every other month is a pay-per-view so that you can let the story at least breathe a little bit more so that when you're trying to blow it off at that pay-per-view, it has more meaning than just saying, oh, we just had a pay-per-view 2 weeks ago.
But I
and we
think-
haven't
But
got
the
another
thing
one.
about it is, this is where the fans complain too much. Because let's say that it's a feud between Kevin Owens versus Shinsuke, right? Let's say that they fought at Backlash, right? They fought, whatever. And on TV, they're like interacting. Then the next pay-per-view, let's say the next pay-per-view is Bad Blood. Why not on Bad Blood for? Bah, 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 bah. People complain about that, not seeing it on the next pay-per-view. People complain.
Which gives them that breathing
Exactly.
room, because it's the same like when you don't
But
see
people complain.
when you don't see a tag team, when you don't see the tag titles being defended on the pay-per-view.
They complain.
Everybody's in an uproar.
Exactly.
But if you tune in
Yeah, but
on
they-
every
they-
week,
They haven't given a shit about tag team.
no,
wrestling.
I'm just using
just
that as an
example.
example. But to be fair, we already know the reason why is because there are no real tag teams in the company. But that's neither here nor there. Which I mean, to be
Tragic.
it a part of it's on them, but a part of it's also like just the nature of like everybody just wanting to outshine. But the thing about it though is there has to be a balance between making you want to tune in every week and then doing a pay-per-view. And you had mentioned AEW where at times they do
Specialty shows.
they do, but not only specialty shows, but so like for the greatest example right now is really the Pinnacle versus Inner Circle.
Yes.
And as much as like the Stadium Stampede thing definitely should have been like that ending of it. Like
It should've.
when they did it and then now they broke it down where now everyone having an individual match with it. Now they're breaking that off. It should have been the reverse, in my opinion. Because then now we're all like, you would look at it like, well, if the Inner Circle already won,
Then why are they doing
Why
it?
are we
I
doing
call
this
this
again?
the summer.
Why are they calling
but
it a rematch?
It's
for
the
it?
summertime beef. You need dudes to go at it in the summertime. You literally.
but the thing is, if you would have flipped it, you still would have had the beef. It would have built up
Better.
to
Yes.
you would have built it up
Yes.
to All Out, and
Thank-
that to me would have been
I
it would have
agree
been
with
a
that.
better pop.
I agree
yeah,
with that.
but
Than doing
but
it
I didn't say that
when
but-
they did it.
but-
And it would made a much better blood feud, especially between Jericho.
Yeah,
and
but
JF.
guess what though? They have to sell tickets. At the end of the
I
day,
ain't about
just
selling
like
tickets.
no. Just
the way
like
the pandemic is going, ain't nobody worried about selling
Ain't
tickets.
nobody
They
cares.
itching to buy.
No. Literally, that first pay-per-view with all the audience there, like you said, I all said a couple weeks
itching.
ago, it's still a business. So they have to have something to make it, ooh, come on. When it came from the stadium
course.
into the audience, the Eagles was hyped. Sammy got that one. The whole arena erupted. Come
course.
on. You need to sell tickets. They did what they had to do.
But
now,
they don't need. But
what you mean they don't need to sell tickets?
no. But they don't need to. I don't feel like that's a worry because, as Rainey said, everybody's itching to go to a show. Do you
Everybody's
know how many people that text me like, "Yo, you going to SummerSlam?" And I'm like, no. I'm gonna respectfully decline because I just went to Tampa and I got other shit going on. But as a fan, everybody's itching to do
But
it.
then
So
again,
to
so-
be on the whole like we need to sell, you're gonna when they announced they was coming to Queens, everybody and their mama was texting like, "Yo, so you going to Queens? You going to Queens? What you
I'm
doing?"
going to that.
At the
That's
end
what
of the
I'm
day,
saying.
I understand that, but
It's
at the end
not
of the day,
a-
at the end of the day,
it's a
WWE
concern.
Okay,
It's not a
all right,
worry.
fine. So WWE is literally going to stack SummerSlam. That's not an issue because they're trying to sell tickets. They want people to say, "Yo, if I'm paying this much, being inside for this long,
better
I
give
want
me-
my
you better-
money's
you-
worth."
you better give me
wanna
Brock
get your
versus-
money's
I mean,
worth.
as a
But
marquee
But
match.
did niggas
For
get their
a
money's
small.
worth when 3/4 of the match was taped?
They did. They still enjoyed it. People who was there still enjoyed it.
Sal
Yo.
enjoyed it. He always goes to all the
Exactly.
AEW shows.
And guess what? Big surprise. Oh, shoot, they here. Brawling. Hype up the crowd. At the end of the day, me, as a person who has a wrestling company, Joe Kim, he came back Battle Club. Double shows. Big time. Everybody was hyped. That's what you do as a promoter, B. You got to make people money worth. The first time coming back, I want to come back.
Because the thing about it, you have to look at the long term look at it. You have a show back, and everybody comes back. If it's underwhelming, they're not coming back.
Yeah.
Because the rumor is that Vince, quote unquote, is saving all the big stuff for when fans are back.
Correct.
Because it gives people more incentives like, yo, shit.
Like Brock.
Like
Correct.
everything. This is a hitter. I want to see this. Because it's like, yo, I waited all this time, haven't been inside. Yeah, most people can be like, yo, I'm gonna go to it, but somebody who's on the fence, like, I don't know. You know, I'm a little worried about.
Listen, if they hit dun 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 dun, niggas is buying tickets.
Yeah, but that's because you have to stack it. And to go back to like the storytelling thing, the thing is about wrestling. Sometimes we all can agree on this. It lost the episodic feel, and AEW does a little bit of it sometimes, but it's not consistent with it. WWE has done it with main eventers, and you kind of lose it with people that fall underneath the card, and that's the only way things can happen. We bring up Dragon Ball Z. There should be like 30 minutes of them, 20 minutes of them talking, and 2 minutes of them fighting.
But the next episode,
but then the next episode, but then the thing about
brawling.
It's straight brawling.
But you still want to know what's going to happen next week.
The pacing, like again, the structure is fractured. So it's like, how do they fix it from a standpoint?
It's the pacing where you have a 3-hour show.
Should be 2 hours.
So
we all know that, but
it should.
We got what we got.
Should it be 2 hours? Yes. But if you're gonna have 3 hours, you need more people in there. But you also need people who can deliver as well.
Exactly, son.
Because a lot of times people don't connect.
And also, too, I think even though everyone, with Raw, we can talk about This Week in Wrestling, but with people forget at times when you have 3 hours. Like, I like the fact that they're doing more backstage shit.
Oh, no.
Because it was something in the Attitude Era that you was on the TV waiting to see what the fuck Michael Cole and The Rock was going to say with the nation behind him. Like, you were looking forward to a backstage segment.
But the people hit, though. That's the thing. Because if you're going to do a backstage segment, shit got to hit with the people that you're using. If you're, like, at any movie, I can give you a fucking script.
But you got to deliver.
You have to deliver.
But that goes back to what you said earlier. Knowing yourself as a character.
And
when I go to the movie theaters and I watch a Denzel Washington movie, Denzel is Denzel Washington in every single movie. Boom. Like Fences, he was Denzel as a concerned father. When I watch Flight, Denzel as a pilot. When I watch Training Day, Denzel as a crooked cop.
But it's so much. There's so much process that goes into this, and I think we don't get it. Is that these segments, these things that they have to. These guys got to elevate, and it's like people don't work at it either. They're just not hitting. Certain people aren't hitting. Like Jimmy and Jay Uso, this shit is horrible acting, but it still hits
because it took for the hard dogs.
But you feel it because it still hits.
Well, that's because you're invested though too.
But how do you get invested? How do you get invested?
You get invested by like you putting yourself in that position.
But the thing about it, how they bring you into that.
But then again,
the story is good.
It's the presence,
but the presence, the character.
But it also got to be relatable.
You need the presence.
So, and that's the case. It's also the performers too.
Correct.
Dolph Ziggles, right? Dolph could not cut a promo with life depending on it. But Dolph went outside and took the time out, took acting classes. So did The Miz. And they are better on the mic.
Really good improv.
So
I will say.
Yes, they did improv because Dolph does comedy. So the fact that a lot of performers don't do the outside work for
they don't hone their craft.
Exactly. Just like Denzel. I bet you Denzel for years he still do the same routine to make sure that he gets the role right.
He still takes acting classes.
Exactly. Look at Will Smith. Will Smith said this. I watched an interview with him. Shout out to Big Will. The guy that he didn't curse his rap was safe listening in the car. Shout out to him, a hip hop legend. So like I said before, he still do the same routine and he still memorize everyone's line. So he knows, all right, cool. When they come in, when not to come in. Do they do that as performers? Yes, I understand that. It's all about the moves and stuff like that. Cool. But are you watching it take back? Shout out to Darius Carter, one of the best heels in the business. He said, when I watch wrestling, I look at their footwork, where they standing. When I saw him at Battle Club, right? One example that he did, right? He was losing his heel heat. right? People was cheering him on. You know what he did? He kicked me. Got his heat back.
But
improv. Understanding your craft.
But that's being a performer. Let's go back to what I'm saying.
It's
performing.
Yeah.
Like
so, I have a question.
Okay, ask.
For the table.
You're the moderator. Got any questions? Dogs?
Thank you so very much. Question: Do you think it is a requirement for a writer to know wrestling?
Let's talk about that.
Because
word
on the streets that
yes and no.
Okay, wait, we're gonna get into it because I'm 75-25 on that one. But so word on the streets, as a woman of color entering the wrestling game on the writer side.
Hold on. You want to read this shit?
Knows nothing. I got it up right here.
So
new WWE writer.
Shout out to Sal.
Kenice
shout out to Kiki,
Mobley.
Shout out to my son Keith.
On
he worked everybody.
Required knowledge for WWE creative. So her quote was,
I thought you really cut his dreads off, though.
I have, first of all, you worked us, and I don't appreciate that. So,
so
the quote was, I have just been hired by WWE. They did not require me to know anything about wrestling. I'm on the Raw team, so there are Raw and Smackdown, and people I know that are on it are Bobby. His name is either Bobby Ashley or Bobby Lashley. And I really should have known that he's like this big black guy, and he and the people who are part of his crew, I know that they call, or at least as of last year, they called themselves the Hurt Business. The Hurt Business. They wear suits and they're like, we're cool, end quote. So once again, the question is, should it be a requirement that anyone that works on the creative side?
What if
it's not a requirement?
What if bump that? I know all they're going to
should
do
know
the wrestling
wrestling
side of this, but I'm gonna look at it as more as a human side of it. Yeah. She is a comedian. What if she's just working everybody just to be funny?
That could be true too.
Like, what if she's working everybody say blah 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 blah? And
on some Dave Chappelle shit.
Yes.
It's a possibility.
Yes.
Listen, I think everything's a work.
Because think about it. If she came in there aggressive, I know everything about wrestling. Boom.
And
they actually probably prefer not people that's into it because they're gonna mark out and they're probably gonna be unprofessional.
Hold on. So mind you, what if she did like this? Boop. And next thing you know, every time a segment goes wrong, they blame her.
Yeah. So
how many times have people watch Game of Thrones, find out the writer is, you are stupid for writing that, blah 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 blah. She's definitely on some you.
That means they got time.
Yeah.
Too much time out there.
Trust me.
Right.
Trust me. I'm not watching credits. Only time that if I'm watching credits, if one of y'all is working on something, I want to see you naming credits so I can screenshot and send yo, I see you, dog. We winning out here. Woo, let's go! I'm hyped, B. I changed my diet. Been working out. I feel good. We got 4:30. God is good. Not the point. The point is this. What if she's working everybody? And she called all of y'all.
But just outside of her.
But that's the beauty of it, though.
Do you think a requirement in working on creative should be wrestling?
But then again, it also goes back to not everybody worked on a fantasy show before. Mm-hmm. So it goes back to that. Just because you know the genre doesn't mean that you can't learn. Just like an actor, when they get a role as a superhero, they say, I went home, I studied it, blah, 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 blah. It's not too hard to learn your craft that you're writing for. People forget, were you serious about your job? You're going to take the time out at home. Let me watch videos. They get the free Peacock Network. Let's do this, dogs. Or matter of fact, Bobby Lashley, you know what? You know what? Bobby Lashley, you know what? Let me see what's up with your character. Make him bring him out more of how can you appeal to more of a broader audience? So I see this as a catch-22. It's good, but if you wanted to put in the work in, I want to see somebody from a different mind, from a different field, come in and see the business from differently. Vince Russo came in there and said, I noticed that Vince said, what you writing in here, dogs? Do it for me. Next thing you know, he changed the attitude era. So all I'm saying is this way. Give the sister a try. I don't care if the sister was Asian. I don't care if the sister was alien. Give her a fair try. Because half of us doing our jobs right now, at one point, we was trash. For example, right? I work for a packaging company. I know nothing about packages when I first started. Now, you talk to me, nigga, I'm the nigga in charge. You feel me? Like you dogs, you mentioned earlier, right? You know nothing about running a hospital. But now what you doing? You're learning about running a hospital. Yeah. Not everybody gonna know their craft right away. If you're willing to try, give them a try. Y'all wrestling fans, get off a dip. Honestly. Get off of this. Because at one point, we was novice in wrestling. Now, y'all think y'all are experts and stuff like that. Y'all still don't know nothing.
I mean, like, everybody's a novice to certain things. It doesn't matter. It does not matter the medium or the spectrum that you're in. Take
college word.
Take it for instance, like this.
That, dogs.
Like, obviously, it's like high in sports time right now. I love basketball, right?
I know.
One of the best players of all time, God rest his soul, Kobe. He was obsessed with being the best.
Exactly.
Like, we knew he was going to be great on the court, but before he passed, what his passion was learning stuff off the court. Like, he took classes just to learn how to run a successful business. He took classes on terms of how to build ownership. His idea was always ownership on something.
Exactly.
It wasn't his field. He was doing basketball for pretty much all his life since he was in Italy, a 4-year-old boy with his dad playing in Italy with former head coach Mike D'Antoni. And then now, all these years later, become this 5-time champion. So what's your next passion? You look at other things to not only fuel you, but at the same time grow into a certain level. Like Rock's another example. When he got into Hollywood, he wasn't we all know he wasn't like the most, renowned actor, but because of his presence, you knew he was gonna have, standing power. Mm-hmm. He built himself into the $7 Entertainment, the guy who's always everywhere with the million likes on Instagram, all this stuff. Like, he built a legit empire. He owns a league now. As a black Samoan man, owns a league now.
What do you know about running a football league?
Nothing, but he has people in place.
Well, he used to play football.
I mean, he used to play football.
The difference between playing football and running it.
Well,
I mean,
completely different.
But think about it is
if you know certain parts of the business, then of course you're gonna want to learn and grow into that.
No, it's different. It's different if he was in the NFL. He was never in the NFL.
But here's the thing though.
But it's
he can learn. But things like this, he can learn the production aspect from how Vince ran. And how Vince ran XFL the first time around.
Yeah, he'll have to learn. He'll have to learn.
Any piece advice that he took from Vince the first time around, because remember, a lot of the XFL stuff that they did the first time around, the NFL's using now.
They gobbled it up.
So, and the second time around, Vince was doing certain elements of the game that the XFL was using. Look what the NFL's doing now. They're implementing those elements into their next season.
Of course.
So with Rock coming in now, it's like, okay, now he's going to call up Vince. Okay, now in terms of production, because at the end of the day, it's a business and it's a television broadcast system with sports. Your main thing is sports entertainment. Football is sports and entertainment. It's a business. So your thing is you got to sell this product. How are you going to sell this product? You're the biggest man in Hollywood. That's your selling product. Now, everything else under you, because your ex-wife, who's also your partner in this business, also runs it. So she'll run the day-to-day operations and having the right people in place. So she'll find certain people that she does with her $7 Entertainment. They have their handprint on a lot of things right now, including which is Young Rock or Vince McMahon's documentary or Paige's movie that came out, Fighting With My Family. There's always,
by the way.
Or Ballers.
But that was more of an HBO thing led by Mark Wahlberg. But even then, you still have those people in that connection. And because of who you are, the top of the top will come to you and what they're good at in terms of production and pushing the XFL to becoming great, they'll help him do that because he's already had experience with the games, like the games that he has on NBC or the Hero that he had on TNT.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to bring it back to, because I feel like when people really don't understand, and I'm going to put everyone else an example. Everybody in this chat has a podcast, probably did a podcast, including us right now. We knew nothing about podcasting.
I still don't.
Eric said, fuck FedEx.
Me and my brother and Randy, evolved within the podcast game. From what I know.
Don't shade me.
No. I'm still trying to.
So you don't got to shade me in the same sentence.
I'm still.
We set yourself up.
Exactly, you did.
But he didn't have to shade me though.
Y'all the standard. We at the Backstage Brawl trying to catch y'all.
But understand that when your first episode until now, night and day, including us.
You're right.
All I'm saying is this way: people gave you a chance and gave us a chance. So why not give this woman a chance?
True.
And this goes back to, people have no sympathy when it comes to the entertainment. They just see them as the person at the table, not understand that they people too. Do we always talk about...
It is a catch-22.
Of course. But we always talk about how great this person is, how great that person is, how great that person is, right? But understand, when you go back to watching them from day one until now, you realize they work on their craft.
Did she do this for an interview?
Yeah, she was on someone's podcast.
Yeah.
So... This is how motherfuckers get fired.
Yep.
Even if you playing or not. Like, it's
so
wild.
this is my thing. Like, she shouldn't have said that.
You gotta tread lightly, especially.
There was no reason for her to say that. I mean, she's new to the business.
Yeah.
She's
Learning.
No, I get that, but you still got a job.
Yeah, dickhead.
It's like,
You still a dickhead what you said, though.
yeah, she shouldn't have said it. She probably doesn't know any better, but
She should have worded better.
it still isn't. She shouldn't have said that at all. Now the shit is out. Shit is going on. She writes scripts. At the end of the day, Raw is the running longest TV show.
Okay.
too damn long.
It is a TV show.
It is.
So, she's writing a script. And the thing about it, she's not the head writer. She's one of the writers on the team. So, they're going to give her segments to do, give her characters to take care of. Like, hey, dude, I don't know. She might be working on the Bobby Lashley thing. All right, I don't know who Bobby Lashley is. They're going to tell you who you are. As a writer,
you call the person.
No, but the thing about it, writing is simple. It's complicated but simple.
Yeah, you used to write too.
So you have two characters on the screen. There must be a conflict,
Gotta find a creative way to sell that content.
and that's what it is.
But the worst part about it is like you gotta remember, while she's writing this script, that same script can actually be written up, like thrown out minutes before the show just to rewrite it again. And that's the scary part.
And that's the scary part. But that's just what it is.
It's
the
show
thing
business.
about it, let's keep it a buck.
It's show business.
She's a black chick in a white dominated industry with white dominated fans,
Yeah.
and they feel a type of way.
Yeah, because the picture they put up with her, I had to turn off the comments because they was getting nasty.
Yeah, they were getting real fucked up. Why is this important? Oh, what if she does? And the thing is, females in the industry.
Why is it important? That's really what we went to.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, but the
That's
thing,
sad.
but the thing about it, females in the industry go through a lot more shit because
Niggas
they're
not gay.
Oh,
they're just attacked. They're
Okay.
attacked a lot. They're attacked a lot when you're in the wrestling industry.
Yeah.
Like it is what it is because fucking the Warrior's wife was on a writing team.
Yeah.
And what she know about wrestling besides dating the Warrior? Because Warrior can't wrestle.
and first of all, that was his second wife too. Because I didn't know until Darkseid he was married before that. I was like, oh
Yeah,
shit.
so they're writing shows. One of the biggest things that when Friends became the #1 show on television, that's when the writing room came to WWE
Pretty much.
because Vince wanted to beat Friends in the ratings.
Yeah, you can't do that. Man, he petty too.
So he got a writing team. And the reason also, sometimes when you know too much about wrestling, you have a bias.
Of course, yeah.
You're meant you start seeing things in a not the right light where you're trying to put a show together. So that's she shouldn't have said it.
I always felt like he needed.
That's my thing.
I always felt like he needs objectivity in that writing.
Oh, adjectivity.
No, he got it. He got two black chicks.
No, it's not
Facts.
enough. It's not
Whoa,
enough. It's not
Are
enough.
they the black chick that would speak up? That's
But
a difference.
it's still. But the thing
It's
about
not
it,
enough.
it's still.
Well, we don't know. That's the thing. We don't know.
But the thing about it, it's you have a room full of white dudes. It may not be enough right now.
It's a start.
But the thing about it,
it's not enough.
they hired from what I read, they hired 4 black people to be in that writing room.
But like I said a couple of weeks ago, did they hire four different
But
type of black
the thing
people?
the thing about it, it's black. That's what you got to understand. Even if there's 4 black people that are the same thing, those 4 black people, regardless of where they grew up, if it was fucking Nebraska, Detroit, or wherever, they're still thinking
That's a different
differently
type of energy.
than these all these white boys.
That's true.
That's in
That's
that
a different
fucking
type of
room.
energy.
Because at the end of the day, 4 black women, they still going through shit no matter where they're from.
True.
And that's a whole, like you said, it's a whole different outlook.
So what's
a
up
whole
with Jason
different
Jordan? Is he still running stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
he is.
Oh, he's
So-
on Smackdown.
He
Boom.
is.
No wonder why SmackDown is so much better. Dang.
And it's you have to.
I wait for Tuesdays and Fridays. I don't watch.
So
Mondays.
and the other thing is that the one thing that nobody wants to admit, the top executive who's running shit in
He's a
WWE,
black dude.
he's Arabic.
Well, yeah, I was like, he's.
But the thing about he's a person of color.
Yeah.
He's a person of
Oh,
color.
you're talking about Nick Khan?
Nick Khan.
That man.
Jason Jordan is helping run SmackDown. You have 4 women in the writers, and I know about another bunch of other women who I know personally
That
who's
works for
behind the
company.
scenes.
Mhm.
So when And that's why people be like, oh, WWE's racist. They may have been in the past, but they're trying to change the ways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And the thing about it is you have to allow people to change. And that's something that...
It's social media. They don't allow nobody to change.
People won't allow people to change.
Well, I agree with you.
Oh,
I think in terms of...
Oh, this is Pam Grier, my screensaver.
I think in terms of what you were saying, like, you know, her being a comedian and stuff like that, that's how I took it. I took it as her being like silly and stupid because I think of it like any comedian, like if you have a regular conversation with them, they gonna say some wild and funny shit and you be like, what?
For example, the guys that do you guys see the what's that movie? Judas and the Messiah on
Judas and the Black Messiah.
You know the director were comedians, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So meaning that
No, they weren't. The scriptwriters were comedians.
yeah, the scriptwriter was comedians. So the reason why I brought that up is
Jordan Peele wrote Get
people
Out.
could do their research, and you don't know her background as far as just bringing great characters out of people. So
It's because, like I said before, it is writing. At
Yeah,
the end of the day, you're still writing.
It's just
Exactly.
it doesn't matter essentially the actual like it's wrestling.
Plus, I ain't shit
But-
about her.
But it's more or less like sometimes you need someone that actually doesn't know that may have a fresh outlook on
Exactly.
something and a fresh idea where you can. It's all about where you apply it to. It doesn't always have to be because, like I said, I don't think as a company you want somebody that's going full fledged, got a whole basement full of wrestling belts
toys, yeah.
and shit like that because that might be problematic as
Because
fuck.
because the thing about it, you're gonna end up fantasy booking.
Yeah,
And it's your fantasy.
And you kind of want somebody that's, in actuality, I can understand even to a point of why it was why it wasn't a requirement because you want someone that's not going to be biased. You want someone that's going to come into a writer's room and write. You want someone that's not even going to think about who the fuck is the WWE champion right now. You want to focus on the actual task at hand, which is writing.
So what I'm hearing from everybody is it's all about you can make a good, consistent storyline to draw in the audience.
it's
Yeah.
business.
So
That's-
it
yeah.
goes back to what I said earlier. There's certain people, like for example, Captain America. Did you probably know anything about Captain America? Probably didn't. But yet, when we think of Captain America, we think of Chris Evans. When you think of Tony Stark, you think of
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr.
But they did their research. They got involved with the character. And the thing about it, it's at the end of the day, Shorty just got to write a story.
Perfect casting.
If the story does well, the story does well.
Yeah.
How much time we got left?
Don't like I have an hour.
Okay, cool.
Hold on. That means I gotta go put more time in my car.
Oh, do you want to go ahead? Well,
Yeah, I'm about
do you
to
want to do it on your phone or?
No, I gotta go downstairs and do it now.
Oh, okay,
Go ahead,
well,
so
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, dogs.
Well, okay, go ahead. Go run down, and
I ain't trying
then
to get no ticket.
I don't want you getting no ticket either, because I don't want to be responsible for that. We already responsible for a lot of shit, so I ain't trying to add that to the card. Well, let's talk about something while Randy is taking a meter break. What other things did you guys think were hit or misses from Hell in a Cell?
To be honest, even with Bayley versus Bianca was a good match, I'll be real with you. Like, it didn't need to sell. It really didn't. Like, it did add an extra layer of drama, extra layer of violence. But my thing is this way. It's cool, but I like the Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley because even though that they've been fighting forever, you see the intensity in that match. You see the Drew, this is my last chance. I gotta get desperate. Bobby Lashley saying that I'm sick and tired of fighting you. I'm gonna put you to the ground.
But that's just in the same where someone can say on Bianca's end where she's tired of this bitch laughing at her. And she wanna show her like, listen, I give you something to laugh about.
That was the best match on the night, though.
Absolutely.
That was the best. Bianca versus Bayley was the
down.
best match of
Yeah.
the night.
I
And
agree.
there's certain things that happened in that match that I was like, all right. First things first, Bayley, and I will keep riding for Bayley. What she does in the ring, because what she did, because how she made Bianca look amazing. Bayley's heel work in that match, top tier. Top tier. Working the body parts. Tying her hair to the rope. Phenomenal heel stuff. And another thing I tweeted about this was Bianca's slow burn. How now that she needed that Bayley match. That match was Bianca's coming out party.
So basically, it was when Mick Foley did for Triple H. And
Yeah.
Mick Foley did for Edge and
Yeah,
Randy.
yeah. So
in a
the
sense.
point is that
Like you show a different side of the person.
but you also saw you saw Bianca's in-ring ability better. Like you saw how more polished she's getting in the ring.
I agree.
She doesn't have the patter feet that she always has. She looked more confident in the ring.
Absolute confident.
There was a whole different side of Bianca that you saw. You saw growth in that match, which is why it was the best match for me that night. I really didn't like Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley.
I ain't like either.
It was one of my
Kinda
least
over
favorite
it.
matches of the night.
I'm kind of over the bitches.
When it came down to it,
Like I get why, but at the same breath, I was just like, this ain't hitting. But I think because you gotta remember, was that the only other female match on the card?
Yeah.
So the kind of
no, it was 2. It was 3 actually. The main on the pre-show was Dana Brooke versus Natalya.
outside of pre-show, from when pay-per-view started,
And Alexa Bliss versus Shayna Baszler.
oh, which is another one. That I thought it was. I mean, it has a purpose. If it completes the purpose, then that'll be
think
that. But
I think that I don't know. Like I'm like when it comes to that feud right now.
I mean, I'm intrigued by it just because I think it's a different side of Alexa, and I think
Kiki said that Rhea is missing something.
she don't know how to talk.
She don't know how to
She
talk.
don't know how to talk.
So-
she got the same syndrome that Andrade had. She had the same syndrome.
No, it's not this. It's
That
not
No,
this.
no, no, no.
anyone
She's
with an
English.
accent
it's
has.
it's not the accent
no,
because
no.
Sheamus can talk.
Exactly.
Sheamus is one of the best talkers with an accent.
Drew can't really talk.
Yes, you can.
Drew can talk. Drew
Yeah.
can talk.
that's
It's just
cringy
that
for
Drew's a little bit dry, but he can talk.
Yeah.
The problem with Rhea Ripley is she's in her head. Her anxiety, her depression, and stuff that she goes through, she gets stuck in her head, and she doesn't have that confidence yet to take her character to the next level. Her character, once again, is why I say all the time. We spoke about it earlier. Her character has not evolved.
I was about to say, do you think so? That's kind of like
evolve when she first came.
No, it has. It's the same person. It's the
It's
same
the
person from
same.
NXT.
It's the
When
same.
Rhea first came, she looked like Charlotte. Stop it.
No,
I'm talking about.
like you talking about NXT, her being NXT champion and being in that era.
Then say that.
But that's what he said.
No,
But that's what I'm saying.
he was
though, because
saying when she came up.
When she came up,
was the same.
when she was hot, it was Rhea Ripley, dark features, dark everything,
lipstick.
dark lipstick, and that's the Rhea Ripley that we know.
That's the one you get on Raw every week.
Because what it is, and this is another thing. When I talk about Bayley, we just compared two of the two matches that two of the top women in WWE were in. What did I say about Bayley putting over Bianca so beautifully? Nothing. It's not a shot to Charlotte, but that match between Charlotte and Rhea Ripley did not help Rhea Ripley grow.
Okay.
But I think once again, the purpose of it is to elongate it.
But
But the thing about it, even if the elongation,
But the ending did nothing for nobody though.
The ending did
But
nothing,
that was the point.
The ending did
That
nothing
was the
for
point.
nobody because you wanted to protect Charlotte and you wanted Rhea to win. I get that part. I'm talking about in the ring. I'm talking about their promos together. Even if I blow you out the water, I'm gonna teach you something. I.e. Cena versus Roman. I will always use that as an example. Charlotte, she's one of those people, she's so good, but she doesn't teach well.
But it's hard, and it's interesting that they went
How
back
can-
to the feud with the two of
I'm
them.
gonna say this after she's done. But
Go ahead.
how can you teach people if you haven't mastered self? John Cena knows who he is as a character.
But-
when he went against Roman, John Cena was Cena.
But also, Charlotte knows who she is, but I think she's also angry at the company. She's at a place where she's not 100%.
She got some personal ties.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
you gotta understand.
Yeah. There's some uneasiness.
disconnect
There's some
there.
uneasiness there. But the bigger problem is that what you said, you have a job to do. And they put her with Ripley to give Ripley a rub. to elevate Ripley.
Actually giving her the payback because
of what happened
Rhea happened last year at Mania.
Because I've been saying this for now. Those 4 horsewomen are almost out the door.
Mm-hmm.
It's
going to be limited.
Yeah, and it's the next generation that has to be up. So WWE already sees that.
So why the shelf life of women is so short?
You said who?
Well,
the shelf life of women is short.
At least for the 4 horsewomen.
Well, you have to also remember too, and it's just nature at its own. As a female, especially in the business, so it goes back actually to if you ever watched the Austin shit that was on USA, and he had Charlotte on there.
Straight up Steve Austin.
There you go. And it was the like the season finale. Mm-hmm. And he had a conversation with her, very candid. And she basically like broke down saying like, I want to do other things. I want to be a mom. I want to have kids. I want to act. I want to model. I want to do other things
Charlotte?
outside. Yeah. She said all those things on his thing.
And the thing about it, who she signed to?
And she got an agency.
She signed with Gary V's agency.
So, but it goes to even going to like the Bellas. It's like you wanna, as a female in wrestling, you love the sport. There's so many things you want to do, but then also too, you got as a woman, you if you want to have a family, you want to have kids, your career isn't gonna be as long as a male. That's just nature.
But in the sense of that, yes, but not in the sense of not having the ability to perform what they do, because
it's
again,
a little bit of both.
Right, I feel like in entertainment they put a cap on women. Like, all right, you're 35, you out the door.
But they do it on men too.
Mm-hmm.
They do it on men too.
Because
you gotta think all the heavy hitters that's in wrestling right now, they're in their late 30s, early 40s.
Explain Macho Man during the New Generation era.
Exactly.
And people look at them like, some people may be like, oh, they too old to wrestle.
But again, there's a difference between getting out your door at your peak at 35 and still able to do it at 45. Ric Flair was wrestling for a minute. Hogan was wrestling for a minute.
Ric Flair had no choice.
Again. Stop breaking the fourth walls.
I mean, it's the truth. Because him on his car show commercials, I keep telling y'all, shit is hilarious.
That's not the point, because he's not wrestling right now. But Ric Flair was wrestling for a minute. Sting was wrestling for a minute. So all I'm saying is this way. The same exact courtesy that we have for these males in entertainment, why not have the same courtesy for women?
But you gotta also think of it like if that what they want as the female.
Yeah. That's like what I'm saying.
I think if Jazz is out here 50 on the indies, that's a choice. She's making that a choice.
But that's what I'm saying though. The same exact way.
But think about, we have Mercedes Martinez, who's in NXT. She's 40. We also have other women that have come back and have wrestled.
But are they still given the same like spot as like, dang, what's the words I'm trying to get out at this point?
I think if they're gonna help put over talent, then I think then that just like when who did Trish face at that Evolution shit? Fuck, I don't remember.
She faced somebody.
But
it wasn't Charlotte.
It could have. No, I don't know. I don't
Charlotte,
remember. Oh wait, did they tag team? That's what it was.
It was tag team versus
the Bellas, probably.
No, because Nikki had that own match by herself.
So I think that it was.
But regardless of that,
damn.
The thing is though, if you're but it's just that niggas is old. To be honest, like I barely remember what I did last week. But to be fair of that though, as you coming in as an older, as a more mature, on the mature side of things, like your goal is going to be to put over talent. Like if you're coming in and you think that you're gonna be the next women's champion at 50, where you have someone that is 30 and that can probably carry the company for 20 more years, just like that 50-year-old did.
Pretty much.
You did it for Goldberg.
You're gonna what? William Goldberg is a very
and that goes back to my point.
And I never agree with that anyway.
My point. Like
never agree with that shit.
For example, you could have broke up these 4 horsewomen reign by having a Mickie James that had a title for a couple of months. Imagine like Mickie James was champion.
They should have done that.
Yeah, Mickie James was champion for a little bit, had a nice reign. So thank you. They did it for HBK. This goes back to my point. I understand what you're saying. Hey, someone won't do other stuff. But it also goes back to,
Show us the GOAT,
keep the same energy for women that you keep for men.
So I think it goes back to this. When we talk about it, it's
Oh, it was. She said it was Trish and Lita versus Mickey James and Alicia.
So yeah,
Fox.
I knew it was like her and Lita. I did remember that.
I think what it comes down to, because a lot of times they don't feel that women are money.
Yeah, unfortunately,
that's what it comes down to. It comes down to the dollars that women produce. Older women produce.
That's a cop out.
But no, it's not a cop out. That's what
they.
That's how they.
It's kind of like business though.
You have Jennifer Lopez look like a dick
she's the exception to the rule though.
But it's like a regular ass business where you have someone that's been in the company for 20 years and you let that person go first because now you got somebody younger and that will take a half of a pay cut than that person to do the same thing.
And the thing is, I blame the fans. I've always put this more on the fans. Because
you gotta show value, you gotta support.
Fans are quick to say things like you're saying right now, which is valid points. But are you buying people's merchandise?
Are you supporting?
Now, certain people you can make the exception to, like Naomi, when it comes to her stuff. Mm-hmm. But were y'all really supporting Mickey James?
No.
Let me tell you, when I was in Tampa, and when I literally heard for the first time ever. When I heard niggas out here was cheering Tamina's name, I said, "Oh shit, this is different." But it's because they positioned them in that sense where now we're gonna strike while the iron is hot kind of situation.
Exactly. But then also, if you're bringing somebody back,
let me tell you that.
How hot were they when they were before? They weren't mega superstars. The thing, like, I get what you're saying. Goldberg's an attraction.
And that nigga was...
This goes back to this. Because you know what? It is right. Because when like...
And that's not... It's not fair.
But let me finish. Let me finish because when Trish Stratus did came back, though, she was having a good match. Like, they let her do a couple of stuff. You understand? When the Bellas was coming in and out, they let them do what they have to do. So basically, someone said this online. I forgot which wrestling group is. Yo, sometimes your superstars... may not get the hot storyline, may not get featured because their merch are not selling. So, but then again, do you put them in position for their merch to sell?
And that's the catch-22.
Yeah, that's the
catch-22.
That's the catch-22 because look how when Patty Pat was hot, when Patrick Clark was popping.
Yes.
He had one fucking shirt. I went to War Games. With like hype, like yo, I'm about to buy mad Velveteen Dream merch. That nigga had one shirt, and he was hot. Everybody was like, yo, where's the merch? Where's this? Where's that? Look at even going down to like the Usos now.
Yeah.
What was it? Right hand bitch, left hand bitch. Niggas is out here wanting that. When Roman came back, acknowledge me, fight me, respect me, all type of shit. Two words. Niggas was selling. The shit was selling out.
But you have to put the stuff out. It's a catch-22 double-edged sword type of situation.
It's weird.
It's who you market as well.
It's who you market yourself of that nature, and they don't invest. They invest in the women, but they don't invest in the women
because
they don't. So.
My thing is
what I would say is they invest short term.
But what about when Becky's shirt was selling like hotcakes?
But they invest short term.
They caught a lightning in the bottle on that one.
Yeah. But then again,
that was the difference between her.
They don't invest long term.
My thing is this way. Yo,
that's the thing.
To this day, it makes no sense why WWE are not doing more brands for women, such as all women wear makeup. Not all of them, but a lot of them wear makeup. Why don't you have a makeup sponsor for these girls? Why aren't you in these makeup commercials? I want to see.
Well, it's.
But let me finish. I want to see.
There might be some red tape with that.
It's a lot of red
because they have their own makeup artist that does all of the girls' makeup.
But my thing, okay, cool. But you all about marketing, right? I want to see Bianca Belair in a Maybelline commercial. Yeah, I'm an athlete.
She was
maybe it's Maybelline.
No,
I want to see that.
I don't.
No, she was.
But there was some commercial.
No,
but it was some. What commercial was playing right leading up to WrestleMania? And I kept saying like, "Yo, they are trying to push her over because the commercial kept coming up."
But then again, I'm saying this way, and shout out to my son. Shout out to Kiki. She said this. What's perfect for Stephanie then? For a woman that's high up, I have to agree with her. Oh, I'm about to go off on this.
We ain't got time.
Woman who's that high up, she should have done way more for the women.
The thing about it, she doesn't have power.
She doesn't have power, man.
But people act like Stephanie got power.
So Stephanie's just a figure.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she's Obama then.
Yes.
She's a face of a company. She's
why
not the one pulling strings.
Why do you think Shane left? Like,
she's not the one pulling strings, and Shane left because he was just like, I don't want to deal with the politics all the time. And I don't want to do
people
this.
act like she has power. She has no power.
like if Shane
she's the face. She's one of the faces of the company.
She gets paid.
Where you go and do
nice
you go and do a
beautiful
panel.
paycheck.
You go and do a panel. You go and do a workshop. You go and do speeches and stuff like that. That is woman empowering, but she's that facial point up for WWE. And it is the same thing they had when they do, depending on like whatever month it is or whatever it is, they'll have certain people be that figure that represents the company for that particular issue. Like going back to Naomi with the Boys and Girls Club, the commercials that come on from time to time. She won some award from there when they was down from Florida because she's from Orlando.
Who?
Naomi.
Oh, I thought
And
you
she was on. No.
Former
And,
dancer
but
for the
she was.
Magic.
But she was on, they were doing the commercials with the Boys and Girls Club. They were showing her a lot. Like when they have certain projects and certain causes that actually is personal to the actual person, you would see that person in the forefront of it.
It's like she's like Steph is a figurehead.
She's a face. She's a face.
She's a figurehead. She don't got real power. People act like she does. But at the end of the day, it's like I'm not giving my kids power. Who the fuck are them? That's why Vince sees them.
Exactly. Before we do wrap
his
up,
dad.
He treats Shane the worst out of it.
And this is why Shane left. Oh, it was because of Shane that WWE Network, WWE website was so good because of Shane. Yeah.
Because he went to China.
He was in China and he killed it.
And he made a few deals.
My man made over $600 million out there for UTV out there. In the time that he left.
Dang.
So before we do wrap it up, let's talk a little bit more here and there about this week in wrestling. Raw. Well, let's actually go back because AEW was on Friday night after SmackDown. I
forgot
what happened. That was that moment. I was like, damn, I'm trying to forget. I'm trying to remember what happened.
You know what? I don't remember.
Oh wait, was that when
Warlow and what's her name had the match?
Oh, I ain't gonna front.
That shit was fire.
I ain't gonna front.
That was a good starter.
So what fucked me?
A Lioness match.
Yeah, and I thought of you when I saw that.
Powerful.
But what fucked me up one thing was I think Warlow tried to pin him, and I was just like, wrong match, boo. Wrong match.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, what are you doing?
I was like, what are you doing? That was the only thing I saw. I was like, what? No. I was like, wrong match, boo. He got it. You got you out.
Yeah, because me and my boy Joe, he's an AEW head, so we just text every Friday, and he would talk about how bad one of the Young Bucks be balling and stuff like that. How like one of them is one of the Young Bucks because he sees them. They always go through JFK Airport almost every week, so that's how he sees Matt and Nick Jackson. And you always tell him, Nick, you're balding and you can't act and stuff like that. And
why would you say that?
No, just for shits and giggles because I think they have an attaché, I guess.
Huh?
Niggas is niggas probably.
Pretty much, but like he was talking about how
turn their Twitter off.
like
and block niggas and
Your
shit.
boy better have a crispy hairline.
nah, he got hair like Trunks from Dragon Ball. Yeah. Okay. So, but yeah, he was basically just saying, well, AEW wasn't all that good this weekend.
It was Hager. It wasn't Warlow.
Yeah, it was Hager and Wardlow.
Well, yeah, it was Hager and Warlow.
No, Hager was the one who did the pin.
I know somebody tried to do it, and I was just like,
Yeah,
boo, that's wrong.
And yeah, because
That makes it even worse, because nigga, you the one that. Come on.
nah, because like
That makes it even worse.
Go ahead, Randy. Go ahead.
Nah, he was like how he didn't like how the episode was, like the pacing is different. I'm like, damn, you usually the one praising them every week, and like I thought they've been getting a lot better as of late.
I keep telling people I actually like it on Fridays.
And
I'm sorry.
I like where their placement. And
like
like
the Fridays.
they've gotten
I don't know
much
why.
better with their show as of late. Over the last 2 months,
The cameras got better too.
they've gotten
they
much
have
better.
Someone's
choice.
listening.
Because they have no choice.
They've gotten much better. It's like when they first started, they don't have the same. Oh, I'm gonna be anti WWE and do everything they're not doing. They finally said, all right, it's our identity.
They still on
No. They still send those shuttle shots, but it's not like it's outward like.
No, it is.
With Cody X with the damn like Triple H
Sunset
mural.
Cody X. Kodiak.
Yeah, or Cody Luther King coming out saying, "My daughter's name is Liberty." And I'm like, Jesus.
I don't mind the name.
No, I love.
Actually, the name actually is not bad.
I love the name.
I thought we were gonna go like even
remember-
harder than I thought we were gonna go America.
Did he name his daughter Liberty?
Yeah,
he did.
But
Real talk.
Nothing wrong with the name Liberty because that reminded me of my boo from the Grassy. Liberty. Yo, Liberty got. Ooh, she's nice.
I'm fucking sleep.
Shout out to Liberty. I know you're a wrestling fan. I can't prove that, but call me. I love you, Liberty.
But I'm trying to think what else. I think wasn't last week the episode where Arn Anderson's son tags with Cody.
Yes.
Yo, he was good.
He was good. He
Yeah.
was dumb good. I was
Jim
like,
actually
my man was mad
praised him.
technical. I was like,
He looks
ooh.
50.
But the only thing is,
Hold on,
like,
hold on.
and
Yeah,
it's funny because I was listening to, of course, Jim Cornette.
he looked predatory to me.
Definitely has to gain some weight up top.
Oh, yeah, push-ups.
Definitely.
He got a bird chest.
Yeah, he had to push it every day.
Definitely got to get.
But
get some
overall,
weight.
he was good.
Yeah.
He was good. He was entertaining. Maybe he don't have all the facials down yet.
He
But
look old.
overall, I enjoyed it.
No, the best thing last Friday was I rushed home for this. Was Roman versus Ray.
Nigga,
Oh,
we
hell,
talking
so we
AEW,
talking about
dogs.
AEW right now, but
Yes.
okay.
Who cares?
Okay.
Best thing that was on TV. I rushed
Yo,
home.
shout out to Tribal Chief because he's one of the
man.
reasons why I tune in every Friday because he be manipulative.
I thought
like,
Let's not talk
it's really abusive.
But I ain't got to front.
It's actually
Oh, so-
toxic. It's actually toxic as fuck.
Let me ask you a question.
Beautiful, though.
Let me ask you a
Low-key.
question. Let me ask you a question, right?
That's how he talks to his bitches. That's why.
Yeah, I know. You could tell. A nigga that talk like that on regular TV and not even blink an eye,
Nah.
my nigga, you talk like that every fucking day.
by seeing his wife,
To your
I know
bitches.
exactly how he got her. His wife is bad. I see why you don't pull out. My man pulled a triple double twice.
Oh,
But
man.
the thing is,
That's a
though,
bar.
He got money.
Roman would have gotten bitches regardless.
Exactly.
The long hair,
played
the
football,
dreamy
he's strong.
eyes,
Nah, but with that wife,
the Samoan tone.
Nah, I'm just saying, like, when I'm watching, anytime Roman has been on my TV or somebody that doesn't watch wrestling that's a female that's seen Roman, be like, yo,
they want to risk it all.
they were like, yo, he is fine as fuck.
You got it. Listen,
I had a
cup
friend
of
that
tea.
haven't watched wrestling in years. Like, yo, I want him to have my baby. I was like, well,
I had this
that's
porn
wild.
star,
Begins.
Santana Red. I had posted I had
This guy laughing.
I had
You almost took him out.
I had posted him on my story, and she replied, she's like,
God.
"Yo, who is this fine ass man?" Like, I say this all the time. He got it.
I do. Son.
No, it's like you're on a different level. You're on a different level of like, and I understand why these AEW marks be hating him, cause he could take your bitch.
He really can.
He really could take
I'm
your
like,
bitch.
if I was ever in a committed relationship, I'm like, yo, baby, I understand. Like,
that you would give the hall pass.
all right, nigga, I'm like, it's Roman.
Question. So you would give Shorty the hall pass for Roman.
Just as long as she give me the hall pass for Rihanna, it's even.
What wrestler would you give your wife the hall pass for?
None,
Now I'm
nigga.
intrigued.
No, nigga. You
you
kick
could.
rocks. No, nigga.
Nah.
Like, yo, I built this house. I'm the head
I'm
of
the
chief of this
tribal-
house. What the hell's wrong with you?
Nigga said I'm the tribal.
No, 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 no,
Roman
no,
is
no,
done?
no, no, no,
She
no,
can
no,
do
no,
whatever
no.
she wants.
Roman's
As long as
out
I
here.
get-
No, no, no,
Give me
no. I'm gonna
Rihanna.
break this down.
Roman's
I'm gonna
out
break
here
this down.
producing
I'm gonna break this
toxicity.
down. I put in that work in. I helped you build you up. You know, I got that butt fatter. You know, I got the tummy slimmer because encouraging you. Who was there for you after that? You gave birth to my kids. Not Roman. You want to suck his dick? Yo, you out of here. Go suck his dick, hoe. Go suck
Same.
his
He
dick,
has a
hoe.
point, though.
Same, though.
He has a point.
You want to be a hoe? Sucking dick? Go suck his dick, B.
All right.
Listen,
All right,
listen,
enough with the
listen,
sucking
listen,
dick.
If Rihanna was on the line, she'd have to understand.
First of all, she out here dating the basic of the basic nigga from Harlem, which still is mind blowing to me.
which is
How is that mind blowing?
which means
Why?
which-
Like-
ASAP Rocky gets mad bitches.
He got swaggy mad chill.
ASAP gets mad
Yeah.
bitches.
And he can rap, too.
Maybe because
He a
I
Harlem
grew
nigga.
up there, so like just to see like to me it's like that's a regular nigga. That's a nigga
Well,
that's a nigga that's been chilling
but-
on.
but
That's a
he's-
nigga that's been
he's-
chilling on.
he gave me hope.
on
Think about
2-9th
it. No,
and Lennox.
but the
He
thing
gave me
That's a
hope.
regular
The
nigga.
thing about it, he's not regular. He is rich.
And he's
He's
different
A$AP
because
Rocky,
his
man.
best friend is Tyler. If you're best friend Tyler Creator, you're different, B. You build
no,
different, B.
he's rich.
and he rich too.
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. At this point, you get into rooms.
But I just want to know, who would you give your wife?
Nobody. I'm not giving her a hall pass, but I'll
What
take
if
hall
she?
passes.
Don't forget
No.
the lieutenant.
Oh, what the fuck? That's trash.
No, I'm Haitian.
That's trash.
That's how it goes.
That's
you
trash.
mean?
Like fuck you, me. That's trash. You
Fuck
can't
you
sit
mean?
here and be like,
Yo, he was like Chip Skylark ass talking about Roman's new teeth.
Yo, I swear, everyone, Roman must have gotten mad money referrals because I feel like any new set of teeth I done seen on wrestling has been the same dentist this nigga has used. That nigga got referral money out the ass. Last before we go. You said what?
Can you forward it to me?
For what?
You have something in your email.
In mine?
Yeah, just forward it.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Let's talk about Raw real quick. Well, you didn't watch it.
No. Actually, I saw. I had to see Raw because there was no basketball in it.
Shout out to Xavier Woods.
Yes.
Putting low-key classics over here, B. That Hell in a Cell, B.
That main event was good.
Fire.
Sir Wilkins list
At the end, when my
Yo.
son had him in the hurt lock, rubbing his face on the gate. Oh, get off my mans. Pitch black. Oh, my gosh. That's how you tell a story.
That was good storytelling. Even though I kind of wanted it for Kofi before Drew. But
You said what?
No, I kind of wanted that situation before the situation with Drew, but I'm glad it came out the way it did.
It makes sense. It makes sense with Kofi.
It makes sense.
It makes sense with Kofi.
And I'm glad the way it came out because like it puts Kofi in a credible situation now, and it forces Xavier to kind of branch out a little bit and show people what he could do.
Well, they're saying a part of the reason why. Once again, thank you, Randy, for joining us.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Please make sure to go ahead and plug yourself. Let everyone know where to find you and your podcast.
Everybody can find me on Instagram at _ his name is King. You can find the Backstage Brawl on Facebook at the Backstage Brawl, on Twitter Backstage _ Brawl, on Instagram at Backstage Brawl. You can check out our most recent episode. We did a bell to bell show about pay-per-views. Is there too many pay-per-views, and what is our source to how to fix it? You can check that on the Anchor app. It's also available on other streaming podcasts as well. Pretty much about it. Shout out to Eric. Shout out to my brother Jay. Kid Ty, who's our fantasy booker extraordinaire. Mean Gene, who controls the Instagram, the Facebook page, is on a great job. And, of course, the Podfather, Carl Coulange, also running of the Sports Hit List page. So, by the fans, for the fans. So
there you go. That's how I got to do. Thank you, guys. Thank you. And thank the Backstage Brawl for being a continuing support of the Jobbertears podcast. We really do appreciate it. Once again, July 31st, mark your calendars. Information will be coming very shortly in terms of how to be able to attend the show. So stay tuned for that. Once again, JobberSlam being presented to you by the Jobbertears podcast and Battle Club Pro, where the main event once again will be Tasha Swole, the Battle Club Pro Icons champion versus Big Swole, repping that AEW style. So it's so good to see once again my sisters in wrestling's coming, battling each other, but it's all going to be in good faith and in good fun. But we also do have many other announcements coming. So make sure that, once again, mark your calendars. Saturday, July 31st, JobberSlam is happening. It will be here in New York City. So make sure to keep your ears to the streets, because that'll be the only way you'll be able to get in. Anything else? Will be Black Girl Magic this weekend in Ridgeville Park. So shout outs to Taylor again. Once again, she was on the JCP Lounge about a few weeks ago promoting her show. To make sure to promote, if you're able to come out and support. And then I'm trying to think what else we're leading up to that. The next time we'll be at Legends will be for Money in the Bank. Real quick, who do you think should win Money in the Bank this year?
Eva Marie.
Hilarious.
Ooh, good question. I haven't really thought about the Money in the Bank.
Okay, think about Mr. Real quick. Anybody you think is gonna win money that you would want Money in the Bank to be won by?
Drew.
For the women's side,
I almost want to chop you.
For the women's,
no. I'm thinking logically.
For the women's side, it has to be Becky Lynch, because it'll give a nice for the audience something to go home with. And her chasing the belt, Becky's always better when she's chasing. So give us something good, like sunk her teeth in there, but still be in the shadows and let other people rock at the same exact time. Becky. For the men,
and she got a good
for the men, I gotta go with a black man, a fellow Jamaican, Big E.
Yeah, that's my choice actually for Money in the Bank.
Yes.
Would be Big E. And then on the female side, if they were, I don't know, I'm trying to think who just qualified. Watch it end up being Alexa Bliss. But as always, I'm Janelle from HR. Once again, thank you so much to Montezi and Josiah Williams for that remix that we will be posting and hopefully starting to use soon. But and there may be a possibility of him coming. So That's still in the works. But as always, I'm Janelle from HR here with Sir Rickles and Mr. Black. And once again, thank you, Randy from the Backstage Brawl, for joining us on this interesting ride of the Jobbertears podcast. You guys have been great. Hashtag Black Excellence. Hashtag we are out.
I was over, got the hands in motion. If you go with rolling, no need to focus. Traveling states and over oceans. You gotta wait till your coast chosen. Trying to have lines outside the show like Harry Potter releases at Barnes & Noble.